in our community each month should be valued as much as the airport, and I trust council will make the right decision tonight to show they value both resources equally. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Gentlemen, that concludes public comments. Item on our agenda is item number 6A, Library Community Health Worker Update. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we have public presentation for the library community health.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? It's unanimous, Ms. Hannah. Yes, ma'am. Director Schofield. Who do you have with you? Oh, thank you.
Emma Wibbler. We're going to mostly be talking about all the good work that she's been doing.
Can you bring the mic down just a little bit?
Sure. How's that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. That is a difference. So a bit of a vibe change. We're here to talk about something that I'm very excited about and proud of, and I also think that it's something you might not know that much about. The library social work program has been in existence since 22. I came and presented on it long ago. We've still been there doing that good work, but I think it's very important now to talk about some of the new changes, Emma being primary among them. She's joined us for about 6 months, doing amazing work. Feels like she's been here much longer. You might not be aware of the work that we're doing, trying to help those who are the most vulnerable in our community. I'm proud of that particularly because I know as a human being, when I see someone who's suffering, which we often do, much too, what can they get? Who's able to help them? Are they just out here on their own? What's their situation? With the social work program that we've been doing at the library, we've become deeply entrenched in that work. So by virtue of the library being involved in this, I think you should know the county is also involved in this, which gives me a sense of comfort knowing that while there are not resources out there for everyone, there are certainly people who are actively involved and trying as hard as they can to make sure that the people who need help are getting it to the best of their ability and meeting them where they are, and being effective and efficient and collaborating. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Emma does as our community health worker, and then also why I think the library is well positioned for this. So first of all, this is not unprecedented. Libraries helping people who need it the most is not something that we thought of. It's been going on for probably a dozen years now, usually in larger cities, but the USC Center for Rural and Primary Healthcare was the initial funder of this. They've been helping us for about 4 years now. The county stepped up and helped some with this this year, this current budget year. The idea with this is that it tapers off slowly. They're giving us support, as they have for about 7 other counties in the state, with the idea that public libraries are very well positioned to improve the health of their communities. We do that in different ways. What Emma does as a community health worker, one of the most important things is that she works with people individually. She's offering people who are facing evictions, whatever options are available to them, working them through that. People who are suffering from medical conditions where their bills are astronomical, prescription drugs, which as we all know can be extremely expensive. Working with people who are taking care of family members and are overly burdened with that and not sure what they can do and how they can accommodate that. Working with people who cannot afford food. So there's a myriad of issues that we know are out there. There are resources that are out there. Matching those to the individuals, helping them out is a large part of what she's done and continues to do. So in the first, she's started seeing people in October. Over the first 3 months, she's helped over 50 people. She's going to talk in a little bit about some of the cases that she's seen. I think a library is particularly well positioned for this type of things because, first of all, we are a friendly place. And one of the most important things about our library is that our mission is compassion. And it's really not, I support this wholeheartedly, but I have to give credit to my staff. Even before we had the social work program, everyone is greeted with dignity. Everyone is greeted with respect. The staff that I have on board help people to the best of their ability. Before we had someone like Emma on board, there were often things that were left unanswered. Creates a great deal of stress. No one wants to see people suffer. So having someone on staff like Emma who can sit down with someone, see where they are, try to make as best a fit as possible, and work with them if they need it on an ongoing basis to create a sense of self-sufficiency and also support with them. It's a great thing for our staff. I broaden that to say it's a great thing for the community to have something like that. So libraries are not bureaucratic places. We're friendly. We're open to the library and seek help. Word of mouth has gotten out there. People who are already library patrons are using us. Other people have heard about it. And then also, we're not in competition with other people who are providing services in this community. We work together. I think Emma is an amazing collaborator, an amazing networker. We are not proprietary in the type of work that we do. We really do have a sense of a broader mission. Our goal is to help make the resources that we have, which are not unending and don't meet the need, but to make them as efficient as possible. To that end, we have collaborated a lot. Emma has infiltrated every group that she can in Kershaw County, Impact, Live Well, the housing partnerships. She's working very closely with people from the United Way and other groups. New things are happening, great things are happening. I think we're in a position where there's a lot of positive movement, where we're looking for solutions. And so to that end, I think in your packet you saw the letter of support, just to show that we're not isolated. Mara Jones, some of you are familiar with Mara from
I know her.
You might know her. We couldn't forge her signature. I said, Emma, you got to get that one. He's going to know. Charlotte Rankin from the medical clinic, Donnie Suplee, Judge Branham. These are all people that refer people to us and are supportive of the work. I think that speaks to the idea that we're not in competition. We don't want to be in competition. We groups with other case managers trying to come up with solutions to some of the issues that we're seeing in this county. One of the things that she's done, sort of her training when she came on board, was to go in deep with a resource directory that we had already created. That was in your packet as well. And I'll point out the website that we have up here. This is the new website for the resources that we offer with the community health worker. The resource guide is now online. So if you noticed it in your packet, there's about 60 different agencies, each of which Emma's reached out to find out specifically what they do, many of whom we work with very closely. So it's a very exhaustive resource directory that didn't exist before. Now that it's online, it can be updated in the moment, and also it's available to our partners who we learned rely on it. A lot of people have it up in their offices and make notes and use it, and then also for the general public as well. There's also food calendars that you'll see on the website that Emma's put together. Those are divided into 3 different regions: Camden, Elgin, and Lugoff, and also the North Central area. There are places where you can find food almost every day, whether that's a food pantry or Food for the Soul or other soup kitchens. So laying that out and mapping that out has been a very nice way to make it easily accessible. That's what we're trying to do, to make it easy and accessible. And why libraries? That's what libraries do. Libraries have always been places that put together information where people go for knowledge. They're not using us anymore to find out what the capital of Idaho is, but if it were simple to navigate these types of resources, if it was simple to just go somewhere and find out all the nuances that you need when you're dealing with really high prescription costs and you don't have insurance and you might be living in your car, this can be a very overwhelming process. So I think Emma does an amazing job of giving people the support they need for this sometimes complex guidance. I will turn it over to Emma at this point and let her talk a little bit. I think also I want to preface the 50 or so clients that she's seen so far mirror closely the types of issues that we're dealing with in the county as a whole. So I think what I said to her is like, you're really doing folks a favor, so don't be too nervous, because it's good information. We need to know what types of things we're facing.
So I just wanted to break down some of the things that are shown in this infographic that's in your packet, which describes in a little more detail some of the issues that I see on a day-to-day when working one-on-one with clients. So first off, with health and insurance, as you can see, as it's 46%, almost half of the clients, which is based off that 52 number, have faced an issue, whether it's with insurance coverage or something with their medical care. And this kind of comes down to even just understanding Medicaid, Medicare, the insurance marketplace. If they're uninsured or underinsured, where they can go to get affordable care, free care, sliding scale care, or applying for free medications. As Amy said, they can be extremely expensive for folks. So I can help them find the direction they need to go and how to start some of those processes. I think it's really important also to think about the support systems. Many of us are very lucky and privileged to have a strong support system to lean on, but unfortunately that is not the case for everyone. One of my most prevalent clients, she lost her vision due to a medical condition. From there, she lost her job because she was not able to work without her sight, and if she tried to make ends meet, things spiraled out of control, and she eventually was evicted from not being able to pay her rent. So for myself, being very lucky to have a support system, if I were in a situation like that where I couldn't work, I have family to depend on to help me financially if that were to come to the case. Many people do not have that privilege, and that can be a result of what separates us from someone on the street who is really struggling, is only not having that support system. So looking into housing, people deal with evictions, struggling to find affordable housing, or they're already homeless. They're living on the street. They're living in their car. One of my clients that is living in his car, unfortunately, housing is not a problem we can solve overnight. As much as I wish I could snap my fingers and have a place to put him, it just doesn't work like that. So not being able to solve those issues doesn't mean we aren't still providing services. I'm able to give him ongoing support, offer some hope for him, and check in regularly with him every few days. And you can tell that it really helps them to know they're not going through one of the most challenging times in their life completely alone. And they have someone to depend on and someone to lean on and help them guide them through the situation that they're in. As for food insecurity, I can apply for clients for SNAP benefits and help connect them to the food distributions in the area. Our county does a phenomenal job with food distributions. There's tons of organizations and churches that provide food to community members. As Amy said about the food calendars, there's tons all over the place, and that just helps it be clearer for those who are able to find somewhere that they can go to get a meal. As for that, it kind of comes into the transportation barriers of if someone is homebound or they do not have accessible transportation, if they're not able to get to the grocery or get to some of these transportations, they do not have access to that food. I see people who struggle with getting to the doctor's office, getting to the grocery, or even getting to work every day, that they just do not have transportation. Us being in a rural area, we're just not set up for public transport, supporting it because it is so invaluable for our community. I send people there all the time. However, without there are, it's not able to be used for someone who needs it more frequently, like getting to work. And also, they have to schedule out very far in advance to make sure that it doesn't book up. If they have a doctor's appointment pop up on short notice, they might not be able to use that service. Another big part of my position is kind of researching and digging into opportunities and options we may not know of initially for clients. I have a client who is homeless and was just diagnosed with cancer, so we've been looking into options for transportation for him to be able to get to these appointments, and we found after some research that the American Cancer Society can help with transportation to and from cancer-related appointments. So sometimes it's a matter of just kind of digging for some unconventional options we might not use every day. And lastly, for financial hardship, of course, this kind of intertwines with a lot of the other issues. I'm able to refer clients and help them navigate different financial organizations like Christian Community Ministries, CARE, and Watery Community Actions. They're all really great organizations that can provide a lot of help. However, with them, there's also limitations. Sometimes they have limited funds to be able to give out for people, and there are certain qualifications to be able to get us that. For affordable clothing, furniture, I'm also able to direct clients in the right direction to find different thrift stores and through the Habitat for Humanity to get supplies. I have vouchers for certain places, and we always have essential products and hygiene supplies on hand for our clients who need them. So overall, it's really important for me to be able to address these challenges holistically and recognize that they're all interconnected, whether it's housing, health, food, transportation, and having financial stability. They're all essential for someone to be successful. For me, it's not only about being able to provide the support of offering physical resources to someone, but also the emotional support. Just knowing that someone is in their corner, checking in with them every few days, helping them, guide them through the process, providing them resources and encouragement, giving them a new perspective on the situation that they're in is really important to help them regain that stability and gain that self-sufficiency to help them to build a better future. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
So just in quick closing, I do want everyone, I hope everyone feels a sense of appreciation that the library, and then that means the county, is enmeshed in these issues that are so important to us. What I'm particularly excited about is the momentum in this, that we can work together. One of the reasons I love and have, since I moved here in 2008, I was impressed with the level of caring and compassion that we have. We might be, financially secure with a lot of things, but there is so much passion and compassion in this county among the different groups that want to deeply help. And so I think I'm very fortunate and grateful to be a part of that, and I'm looking forward to creating new solutions.
Question
Yes, sir.
or comment, maybe. I just want to say we're very fortunate to have you, Amy. Appreciate all you do, and I really mean that. And Emma, welcome. I think we've met prior to this. Mar Horton Jones and I very rarely discuss any politics because she can't realize I'm right most of the time. But I'm going to tell you something. She absolutely thinks this is a great program. I think it's a great program. I thank you for what you're doing, and you've got the support of a lot of folks.
Thank you.
Emma,
Mr.
thank
Chairman.
Yeah, any other communication from council?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'd like to invite you, Emma. You know, when we do finance committee, there's a portion of our finance committee where we have outside agencies come in, talk about their funding needs. I think it'd be a really good opportunity. I know you probably met some of those people, but to sort of hear kind of the nuances of how they work. One of the things I see you do is kind of help. One of the things that's always difficult is when you have multiple agencies that have overlapping missions, there's really not the one cog, and it seems like you could serve that kind of role. So it may be helpful. I just wanted to extend that invitation. If you get with Lauren Reeder or Ms. Hannah, they'll be able to get you the meetings that we'll be discussing those particular entities, and I just think it could be helpful for you and those entities. So, yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead. Yes, sir, Mr. Tucker.
Thank you. Hello, Miss Amy.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Miss Emma, I've heard nothing but just great things and accomplishments in your short term here, which is about 6 months almost. And I would say welcome first, great work second. It's good to be young and full of energy and smart and bright. I used to be there one day, but I've lost that. I'm getting old and am wiser, but not as much energy. With that, there is a program with the Santee Lynch's COG on the Veterans Ride that should help you some on transportation. And I would like to also just get you with myself and the director and see if there's other means we can do with transportation, because we struggle real bad in the rural region with transportation. So I think you're knocking it out of the park on your other collaborations, and greatly appreciate that. And that lady you standing next to is full of a lot of information and wisdom. Just follow her lead and continue to keep that passion and drive, because the library is a place where it's a safe haven for some where they go. And so you can make those connections. And what was good to hear is that you're making them one-on-one, because everybody is not open with their problems. A lot of people are very private because they're prideful. And we all got certain pride that we carry. With that being said, you're able to break that down. So I thank you guys for what you do, and you'll be proud of me. And I need you to do a favor for me, Miss Amy. I went up about 2 weeks ago, but my little library card thing fell off my keychain. Nope.
Oh, okay. You lost your library card.
Yes, ma'am. But I was a responsible council member and went back and renewed it. And that young man that helped me was nothing but a blessing.
Oh.
Smiles, mannerism, just kind. I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to make up a name. But those are the type people that you employ because of who you are, and we greatly appreciate that. And so for my colleagues that sitting up here, because they're all young, they need library cards.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Any further comments?
I'd like to offer congratulations. It was a very nice presentation. The work you do, I can tell it's from your heart, and you giving it your all. So thanks for being a part of Kershaw County. And Amy, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Brazel. Ladies, thank you very much for your presentation. Appreciate it. All right, gentlemen, that takes us to item number 6B, Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we have this public presentation on the law enforcement Memorial.
Mr. Shoemaker, is there a second? Mr. Cato, I heard Mr. Cato. Sheriff Boan, come on up, please. Let's go ahead and take a vote while he's walking up. All in favor? Nobody tells you no, Sheriff, right? It's unanimous, Ms. Hannah, it passes. Sheriff Boan, go ahead.
This is going to be pretty much a follow-up from our last meeting back in, we had Police Memorial Day in May of last year. We talked about starting a memorial here in Kershaw County. First time it's ever been done. So what we've done is we've to point out here, this is Officer Robert Latta. He's the first officer killed in the line of duty in Kershaw County history. This was last week when we had our snow day, back on the 22nd. That marked the 106th anniversary of was killed in the line of duty. 106 years, and we still don't have a monument here in our county. We can't speak for the people before us who had the opportunity. We can only speak for us now, and we want to go forward with this for the people who's paid that ultimate sacrifice for the citizens of this county. And that's what we're looking forward to do. And I know we had good council support when we presented it last time, and we met some of the family members. Going forward, we picked our board members. We have some of those in here today. Ms. Jeannie Potter's in here. You can stand up for us. And
If you please recognize them, Sheriff.
yes, and then we've got David Tomley's not here, but he's a retired captain. Well, first of all, Ms. Potter, she's the widow of one of our officers that was killed in the line of duty. I just take for granted everybody knows who you are, but I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know. David Tomley, he's a retired Kershaw County Sheriff's Office captain. Harold Brown, the legend himself, a retired Elgin Police Chief. Danny Templer,
Who's that?
sitting right in front of us here. It's our county administrator. Daniel Roberts, I don't think Daniel was able to make it tonight, but he's with our Kershaw County delegation. Dolly Patton, I think I saw her come in. She's here with us from the Art Center of Kershaw County. Benji Jackson from our Kershaw County Sheriff's Foundation. He's at the rear with Kathy Zobel, also from the Sheriff's Foundation. If you'll notice, we didn't put any politicians on this list.
That's why my name's not up there?
Nobody up here needs anybody's votes, and nobody up here has any motivation outside of doing what's right for these fallen officers that we want to build this monument for. And that was by purpose, and there's no current Sheriff's Office members on our board either. We've done that for a reason, to keep this thing non-political and focused on the purpose of doing the right thing for our fallen officers. When we got the group together, we looked through several different monuments to try to get an idea of what we wanted to use, and the group fell in love with Lexington's monument. They built it in 2012. Once they told us that this was the inspiration, this is what they wanted to do here in Kershaw County, they liked everything about it. We reached out to Lexington. Chief Green over at Lexington Police Department, he met with my chief deputy, Rock Coleman, and we all met together one day, and we walked out to the site. We looked at everything, took measurements, and he talked us through their whole process of what they done and some of the things they wish they hadn't done. So he kind of told us what not to do on our project. So we took good notes from him. He shared with us graciously and put us on the right path. We got with a designer at Brown Memorial, and they come up with this design based on, we're going to build it at the front of the sheriff's office because we own the property there, and that's the best place to build it. It can be seen from the road. So he come out and looked at the landscape and decided that instead of straight walls, to go with a rounded type wall. And all names on the bottom, we wanted to put more focus on the names. So we got our names on the top, the badges on the bottom from all the agencies in the county. The picture on the left is going to be daytime, of course. It's going to be like a black granite. The center is going to be a blue granite around the center. Picture on the right is going to be the nighttime picture of it. There's going to be like a blue light that'll be inside there at nighttime. We also plan on during police week, we're going to have lights outside illuminating it in blue during that week. So you can see that from the road when you pass by the sheriff's office. It's going to be right beside our flagpole. This is looking down on the memorial, what it's going to look like. You'll see, I think I've got pointy thing on here, but at the very top, that's going to be the wall, looking straight down. You got 2 benches, one on each side, and in the center, the circle piece, you've got a Kershaw County seal. We want it in the center. We don't want anything upright that's going to block the view of the wall, but our centerpiece was going to be the county seal on the ground. Now, I got doing a lot of research on it, and I found out that these aren't free. They don't give them away. So somehow we got to find the money to put it together. The project cost is about $250,000 total. It's about $250,000. We hope to raise more than that because there's going to be maintenance and upkeep involved with anything. We're trying to keep it as low maintenance as possible, and we plan on doing as much of the maintenance we can. But, a bunch of police officers, we're not the smartest around, so I don't know what we're going to be capable of doing ourselves. Now, you'll see the way we got it lined up. The A sponsorship, the diamond sponsorship, is going to be the 2 benches. You see at the very front of the monument there. Those 2 benches, for a sponsor donation of $25,000 for each one of those. I'm hoping Kershaw County is going to have one of those benches there. Then you'll see the second one is going to be on the ground around the seal, the top donor spots, 10,000 each, just to be 8 spots. The silver, there'll be 16 spots immediately around that, and you'll get to the bronze spot for $100 donations. It'll be down, and there'll be a certain number of lettering that you can have. And this is something you can put if you've had a law enforcement officer that's retired, or somebody you want to put in memory of, a parent or something, or if you want to put your name on there, or if you want to put your business name on there. As long as you bring in the money, I don't care what you put on there, as long as it ain't profanity or anti-police stuff. Then we're looking for funding. And again, we didn't want anything that's going to. We wanted people's names to be out there as part of the monument, but nothing to take away from the officers' names on the monument. So for the donations, sponsorships, you will have the opportunity to have your name on this monument that we hope is going to be there for a long time and be seen by a lot of people. We'll have our May 15th Peace Officer Memorial Day ceremony there every year on that date if you want to put it on your calendar. It's not going to be ready this May. We know that. We're shooting for next year, 2026, May 15th, to do our unveiling and hopefully have it up by then. Here's the names of all of our officers that's going to be on the wall. Again, starting from the top, you've got Camden Police Officer Robert Latta, January 20th, 1919, same year. And our first Kershaw County Sheriff's Office deputy, Theodore Ted Turner, whose wife is here with us today. Ms. Turner, if you can stand up for us. And she just definitely does not look her age, but she's the widow of Mr. Ted Turner, who was the first Kershaw County Sheriff's deputy to be killed in the line of duty. We've got our next one is Kershaw County Deputy Sheriff Captain James Eugene Pat Orr. Benji, I think you're the only family member that we have confirmed so far from this deputy. Then we've got, of course, Deputy Sheriff Ernest Christian Chris Potter III. We have his beautiful wife here today. She's our committee member. Then we go down to, we had a Trooper Merle Godbold, Camden Police Officer Eddie Cato. We had Trooper Jonathan Nash. And then we had our final Kershaw County Deputy Sheriff Rob Evans. His wife Beth is here with us today. So we got our committee and our family members, and we know they're all definitely in support of it. I know County Council, without even asking, I know you guys are all in support of it. They made the ultimate sacrifice for Kershaw County. The least we can do is give them a proper monument. So that's what we're shooting for. And as of right now, I think all of you have some flyers up there. Anybody that wants information can go to KershawSheriff.com, our website. We have some pull-down menus for the monument, which you can go in, and we're still trying to work out how to pay online with tracking everything and not having to pay 3 or 4% or whatever fee to it. So for now, we've got You can either mail or come by the sheriff's office with a check. We have a form you can fill out, how you want your name put on the monument.